breadheads?
Jeez.
Ty and Eric back in the booth for the 400th episode of Think Fresh Podcast, everybody. Whoa. That's the European side of you coming out to rolling those R's.
Yeah, dude. You don't remember Designer? the rapper?
Oh, I remember Designer. Freshman, XL freshman 16, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Best
or 18.
year. 18, maybe? Second best year.
Yeah, I'm not
Whatever
sure.
happened to that guy?
Oh, it's 16 because of the Pablo era.
Yes, that's right. That's
right.
Dude, that was when there was so much potential for the hip-hop industry. Like, back then, they didn't think that, like, Kendrick and Drake would be in the beef they are today, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, in 2016, we didn't think that we would forget every single artist that was coming out in 2016 and only care about the ones that came out in 2010.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Hip-hop is a heritage movement at this point.
Maybe we're just becoming old heads. Like, we just gravitate to the artists of our era, and that's what our forefathers have always done. And we call them unk. You know, we berated them, but really we're just becoming unks.
Dude, 100%. Like, every 40-something is, like, super into Wu-Tang Clan, and I just don't get it.
Yeah. Well, that's why we long for the days of the $5 footlong tie. Mm-hmm. We're just, like, trying to grasp onto whatever childhood we have left.
You're right. Back when Drake and Subway would take care of me.
Yeah. Listening to Take Care while I take care of my lunch. Dude. That was a tough time.
I know, but you know, those just 12 inches and Marvin's Room got me through it all, you know. It made me the man I am today.
That's right.
That's right. Crazy that the $5 footlong has built the modern man. Like, the modern man, someone like middle-aged, is just like, their like peak years of growth were due to a $5 12-inch sandwich. They probably, like, humankind probably consumed millions of these things, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we would have a Wembanyama tie if it wasn't for Subway.
What the hell is a Wembanyama?
That's the rookie on the San Antonio Spurs who was like 7'5".
Oh, interesting. I thought you were just going to describe like a Benihana ripoff.
Wembanyama. I'm just going to show you what this guy looks like compared to
Victor Wembanyama.
LeBron James, who is 6'9".
Okay, we're looking at a picture of Victor next to LeBron. Yo, this guy looks like the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, literally. Liberty.
Literally Liberty.
Yeah, he doesn't jump, really. He just kind of dunks the ball.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't really have to kind of get up there to out-jump even the tallest players in the NBA.
Wow. Life for this guy would be hard, honestly. Like, he's going to get decked by every door frame he walks through.
Yeah.
Like, you're constantly ducking.
Yeah, dude. But imagine, like, he's no doubt looked up to LeBron James his whole life as this idol.
Now he's looking down, bro.
Now he's, like, quite literally looking down on him.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Everyone looks up to this guy. Wow,
yeah.
What a muse.
Truly insane. But that's, all off of the footlong.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
footlong built that guy.
When you eat long food, you become Wembanyama.
You are what you eat. Truly.
Yeah. Exactly. Kind of crazy.
But the thing is, like, the guy who ate the most Subways ended up a pedophile. So, like, what does that say about the "you are what you eat" mantra?
Damn. I don't know, man.
Makes you think, though, doesn't it? A little bit concerning.
It's very concerning. It makes me think, like, what's so young about the sandwich that he's eating?
Dude, it's all that baby spinach, maybe.
Shit.
All those
no.
petite little black olives.
Very petite.
I don't know, dude. There's something about Subway that just, I think it's just a pedophilic foot. I think it's the phallic shape, actually.
It could be. It could be.
You think that, like, a pedophile would like some nice fresh toasted buns, but like proper like hamburger buns, you know? There's something a bit more like just kind of like the shape of it. Is it like a child's bum? The footlong, girthy,
smooth,
large adult.
Yeah, no sesame seeds on those buns either.
No, they are glazed.
They're perfectly smooth. Yeah.
Baby's
Jesus
bottom
Christ.
buns. But I guess like the new Subway, like the potato bread is kind of in that zone. Like, R.I.P. Jared Fogle, you would have loved the potato buns.
Yeah. It's also the only one of the only fast food restaurants that serves cookies. That's like kids' food.
Dude, that is 100% at kids' food. No, dude, when I'm in here and like the construction worker in front of me in line is like adding the cookies to his BMT.
As one just walks out of
Literally,
Starbucks.
a construction worker's walking by with a venti frap.
Damn.
It's crazy. It blows my mind that these like there's a child in every man, you know, deep inside.
Dude, all tough blue collar guys, they just want a little frappuccino once in a while.
They just want to be little spooned once in a while too.
Yeah. We're also currently parked next to an Amazon worker who is eating his footlong in the driver's seat. I don't know if you can see, Ty.
Yo, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, it's a wrap, I believe. You can probably see on the rear view or the left side mirror.
Oh yeah, dude, I see him going bite for bite now. Wow, that's so crazy that Amazon drivers, they are so committed to their job that they even eat in the driver's seat. They're not even sitting inside the subway, which is nearly 20 feet away.
I mean, look at this thing. This truck is quite impressive, if you ask me. It's it's almost like a Sprinter or like a Ford kind of cargo van, and who knows what he's probably got like a little bed in the back.
Yeah, dude, like it's kind of funny that like there's like this van lifer aesthetic, but then like, Amazon Prime delivery drivers are kind of doing the exact same thing. They're eating, pissing, and sleeping in the same vehicle. That's about literally the same model. Like I think the Ford Transat is kind of the default van life vehicle.
Yeah, I mean the default's the Sprinter, but no van life people can afford it.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
That's why I was gonna say the Mercedes Sprinter, but it's too expensive.
Yeah.
And then to buy that just to mod the shit out of it doesn't even make sense, you know?
Every single person who's considered living in a van has Googled the Sprinter first.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, I'm priced for
mind.
that market. That's for influencers only.
It's like, damn, I can't even afford to be homeless. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah, like the real head, like people that live in their vehicle, it's like old RV, no insurance, tarp over one window. Like that's how if you want to do it on the street, that's how they're doing it.
Yeah, like stuff blocking all the windows.
Yeah,
like not even like for privacy. It's just there's no room anywhere else.
Yeah, they've accumulated too much. They need Murray Condo.
They got a Murray Condo, the condo.
Yeah, that is their condo. Crazy.
But Subway is also, we've discussed this many times, it's the perfect road trip food because you can eat it in the car, you know? You got a nice big paper that kind of blocks. It's kind of like when Dexter like murders someone, he like wraps the entire room in plastic. That's what the Subway paper is able to do for the driver's seat, right? So it'll catch all the olives, it catches all of the mustard drippings. No need to worry. So you can eat it in the car, you can eat it on the plane. It's the perfect travel food.
That's a good point. I would say that the sandwich itself is not the best vehicle for transportation of a lunch. Like the sandwich itself falls apart a little bit. Like you're catching strays on your lap the whole time, but it is the packaging that makes the Subway the ultimate road trip food. It is that tarp that you lay down over the lap.
Yeah, but also, like a sandwich is kind of. You can eat it while driving as well.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
You don't have to park. Like you can actually kind of get away with eating a wrap, or I've seen people eat with chopsticks in the car, which is really impressive.
That is crazy.
And I've actually done the wrap while driving before, and it's exhilarating, Ty, especially when you're in traffic.
Dude, the wrap is stressful, especially those last few bites. The bottom bites are scary.
Yeah, dude, because a wrong bite and it's falling apart.
It's falling apart, yeah. It requires sensitivity to the structural integrity of the wrap at every chomp.
You really gotta like bite it left to right and then back to the beginning. Like you can't kind of like bounce around too much, or else you'll create too much flap.
Dude, you gotta like subdue the flap.
Yeah.
There's no flap with a sandwich. It is the ideal handheld in that regard. Bagels are good too, but you know what Tim Hortons does? They don't have any tarp to lay down once you get a bagel.
What do you mean? What does it come in?
It's just like wrapped in like the world's smallest piece of parchment paper, and they don't even give you napkins with it these days. You got nothing. You got to eat that shit outside.
Dude, thank God Trudeau's out, because we need to bring back paper bags. Plastic bags, actually.
Triple the amount of disposable packaging.
Yeah, back to plastic and back to like excessive amount of napkins.
Yeah. I am surprised that the makeup industry has gone this long with excessive packaging. Like you see some of the shit that's at Sephora these days.
Yeah.
Like the world's smallest lip balm wrapped in like a giant globe of plastic.
Yeah, dude. I bought a Chanel sunscreen during COVID, and it came in. It's like an inch long. It's like a tiny little thing. And it comes in like a massive box with a ribbon. And I'm like, this is like the most insane shit ever, but I love it.
Yeah, that is crazy. I don't know. I feel like, how long can this facade go on where humans are convinced to buy packaging? You know, instead of the product in it. That's the beauty of Subway. The packaging.
I love packaging.
It's so thinly wrapped.
Yeah, but they don't even give you the bag anymore. Like, you gotta like special request the footlong bag.
I don't like the bag.
You don't like it?
I don't like the footlong bag.
Well, not if I'm going straight to table, but if I'm, gonna walk out of there and, I don't know, maybe take it to go, God forbid, or eat it in my whip. I don't want to like carry it like a baby. I want to just kind of chuck it in the bag and keep it moving.
Okay, I take it back. I hate the plastic bag. It's too thin. It's not brand propelling. The paper bag, which is the shape of the footlong, feels like I'm carrying a baguette out of a French bakery.
That is nice.
I love that one. That's a great bag. And that's also funny because whenever I'm brown bagging my sandwich, I feel like I'm trying to hide it from the world.
Yeah.
And I think there's something kind of funny about that.
Yeah, dude. Brown bagging the sandwich on the stoop.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of cool. But they should get rid of the packaging, the branding on the packaging then.
Yeah, I agree. I want a white label.
Yeah. Just anonymous brown bag.
White bread label, baby.
When an officer pulls up, it's like, what you got there, buddy? It's like steak and cheese.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, who's your supplier? I'll never tell.
Exactly. Oh, man. Yo, Ty, I want to talk to you about what I did this weekend.
Oh.
I went on a 27-kilometer hike.
What? No way.
And this normally wouldn't be interesting, but I do want to talk to you about things I ate on this hike.
Okay.
Because,
That's like 3 meals, dude.
Yeah. That's like kind of constant snacking for like 8 hours.
Yeah, for
which
sure.
stomachs don't love. Stomachs hate this one trick.
To just like keep moving and eating.
Yeah, exactly. Fuel while you move. But if you think about it, like the Gorp movement, Ty, good old raisins and peanuts, that's pretty much what fueled me for the most of it.
How many Cliff bars?
I had 2 Go Macro bars. One of my favorite Robert Irvine protein bars.
Shout out to Robert Irvine.
He's basically like a bodybuilder chef.
Oh, what?
The coolest guy ever.
That's awesome.
And then at the top, Ty, we had some spicy tuna, black coffee, and Teddy Grahams. It's like the diet of a fucking inmate.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude. So spicy ground tuna kind of like spread over a cracker. And then we ran out of crackers, so it ended up moving onto the Pringles.
It's like if you asked early AI to generate food, they come up with that meal.
Yeah. It's what people who live in vans eat.
Yeah, basically. And not the cool kind of vans.
Yeah, exactly. The ones who don't get the Sprinter.
So how did you make the coffee? I'm assuming it was freshly brewed on a mountain peak?
Yes.
Excellent.
So brought a little stove, warmed up some water, and then instant coffee. But that alongside probably the spiciest tuna I've ever eaten, and like a handful of Teddy Grahams and a handful of Pringles, and then some like random kind of like gummy candy. All these things didn't really mix well on the way down.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, fueled up, time to walk 14 kilometers on this.
Exactly.
Oh, I would be reeling over, dude. That's rough.
I think I threw up in my mouth like 3 times on the way down. But yeah, it worked out. It worked out.
Do you have any lessons you can share with me from this experience?
I would say put effort into cooking normal food at the top.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you have a stove, then you can heat up some like craft dinner at the bare minimum.
That's true. At least it's a consistent meal.
Yeah. And I would also maybe stop halfway up to make the coffee versus like having it with your food, because coffee and like camping food don't really go well together.
But you don't want to have it too early in the hike or you'll have to shit at the top.
Yeah. The goal is to always shit before the hike.
Yeah. And try to just ride it out.
Yeah. And if you don't, then maybe just leave the coffee at home.
It's kind of like alcohol, right? You just don't want to mix. If you mix too much, you're going to have a bad time. And I think food on a hike is the same way. Stick to the seedy, nutty bars and never deviate from that. And you'll be fine. As soon as you get a little freaky with it, you're like, I'm going to try to make a mountaintop quesadilla.
Yeah.
That's when you're in trouble.
This is what happens when 4 people bring food.
It's
the
potluck. Oh, dude. Oh, a peak luck.
Exactly. A mountaintop potluck.
Wow.
I gotta say, that was
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
All of those things are great in isolation. It's just mixing in your stomach while you're kind of running downhill. Not great.
No, that's not great at all. But
No.
you know what is kind of cool about that is that you got to experience coffee culture in a beautiful place. And I think that's really special.
Yeah, it was quite nice. Dude, the portable stove is like, why don't all homeless people have them? Like, I mean, like that. It just makes eating like actually possible without, I don't know, getting like hot food somewhere. Like you can actually just make whatever you want, like in the middle of the street if you wanted.
Yeah, like you can get like a portable butane stove at Canadian Tire or Walmart for like $29, which maybe is asking too much for someone down on their potluck. But then you just can you can cook every meal for $30. You have like unlimited home cook. Well, I guess we can't call it home cooking. You can have unlimited street food.
Cooking under a bridge.
Yeah, street food.
Street food, yeah, nice. Yeah, you're right. It's the fuel that's kind of expensive, but I think homeless people are really good at starting fires.
Yeah,
especially in LA.
Yeah.
So I think just start a little fire, get the pot on top of that, and you're good to go.
Yeah, dude. It's a little bit more civilized than like roasting rats over an open flame in a garbage can.
Boiled rat, sir?
Another boiled rat, please. Ugh.
Ah, shit.
It's a good idea, though. More solutions for the van lifers. When I lived in a van...
Yeah, that's right, Brad. Yeah, if you didn't know, Ty did live in a van before the pod ever existed.
That's right. It was pre-pod, before I got my bread up from this podcast and then could afford to live like a normal NPC human.
But maybe we should be clear. You didn't live in a van in your hometown.
No.
You traveled for the sole purpose of living in the van in a new place.
It's true. It was a means of unlocking vacationing. So
people would call those digital nomads these days.
Yeah, but
you were kind of a pioneer.
I think digital nomad now is a bit of a slur to describe these people.
Yeah, it's definitely pejorative.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't really like to associate myself with the digital nomad culture. Nonetheless, while my tribulations in van life were happening, I did have a portable butane stove that I used for almost every meal. But I gotta say, the hardest part about it, Eric, is you can't really light it in the van because you're a little worried about like dying. But if you try to light it out of the van, you don't have a ton of control over whether you're in a covered area or not. You might just be pulled over on the side of a road. So you're always at the mercy of the wind. And we don't really think about this too much at campsites because it's one night, you can deal with it. And most places like Subway are they're not al fresco, they're confined. But when you have to cook every single meal and fight the wind, it really wears you down.
Okay, Survivor, man.
Yeah, dude, I feel like I was on the last season of Survivor.
Yeah, dude, you were one day away from drinking your own piss. And you're like, fuck it, it's time to go home.
Yeah.
No, dude, I think the move, and I only know this because I used to live beside so many people who would live in their vans. They would spend most of the time with the van door wide open and just kind of like hang out in the van with all the windows, or not the windows, but the door wide open. And I'm assuming that's enough airflow to cook up a meal kind of like near the door,
Right.
So you got some fresh air coming in. You don't have like too much food smell lingering. You
don't want that food smell because that's where you're sleeping.
Exactly. Yeah, you're cooking where you're eating, and you're shitting where you're sleeping.
It's probably actually a better setup than living in a like a studio apartment because it's the same challenges. You're getting like the scent of the curry you made last night in your sheets.
Yeah. So that seems like an obvious solution. Did you do that? Like, did you just cook inside with the door open?
Almost never. I should have maybe.
You just didn't think of that?
I guess not, dude. I'm not that innovative, my guy.
Did your van have like shelving and stuff that the previous owner installed?
It did, and then I also installed some more.
Oh.
Yeah, I needed more space.
Whoa. Got the walk-in closet in the Transat.
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah, and it did have doors on all sides, like many vehicles do. I could have opened them, and I never thought of it.
Wow.
You kind of build one side of your van up to be a storage unit. Like you'll put a shelf on, or you'll put a bookcase, or full bookcase is a bit of a stretch, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Cupboards.
You eventually turn it into something that is unopenable.
Right. So you
over
never
time.
ever open that one side.
Yeah, you end up relying on a single point of entry. No back door.
Right. So were you going through the back door or the side door?
I'm a side door man. But the
Yeah.
back door, sometimes we pop it. Just see what's happening back there.
Mm-hmm. Did the back door open upwards and create almost like an awning?
Yes, to create a little shelf. That's a good way. If you are finally considering downsizing, look for an awning type back door because it will protect you from the rain.
Yeah,
It's a nice feeling.
that is a nice little feature.
Mhm.
I don't know what it is, Ty, but I'm kind of into the idea of owning like a nice truck or van that offers some of these camping abilities. Like not something to live in, but something where I can install like either a rooftop tent
Yeah.
or like something that has a real awning that comes out and then you can have like seating and like a little fire pit or something.
Yeah. Dude, that would be very cool.
Yeah.
It's fun when your vehicle can be your home in a pinch. Like my pedestrian grocery getter vehicle right now, seats lay flat back in the back seat.
Mm-hmm.
And
Business class, I call that.
Yeah, exactly. The flat lays. And all the windows are tinted, so good night tie.
That's a nice little feature.
Unexpected. Didn't buy it for that reason, but I'm happy I have it.
And also like van life is great for eating Subway because you get full ventilation going. If you
Yeah,
can open
totally.
both sides, perfect airflow going through your dining area.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
And
that
the
is
last benefit is like sometimes you're just too drunk to drive home, and in that case, it's nice to be able to pop the rooftop tent.
That
Call
is
it a
nice.
night. We'll tackle that challenge in the morning.
Yeah, is that actually legal?
I
Like,
have no
can you
idea.
sleep in your car drunk?
I don't know.
I've heard stories where people will be like sleeping even in the back seat with the keys in their pocket, drunk, and they'll still like get clipped.
No.
Yeah.
Wow, we need more clear regulation around this.
Yeah, I avoided a situation like this in my younger years. Ty, I was planning on sleeping in my car, just like completely blitzed. But instead, I walked home, which all men will do. Instead,
dude, yeah.
I'd rather walk 15 kilometers than sleep in my car.
Dude, because that pilgrimage, it may be 15K, but it feels like 5 after enough pints.
Yeah. I think I stole a bike on the way home. So I just rode someone's bike and then ditched it outside my house.
Yeah, that's so sick. Gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Avoiding breaking some laws, breaking others in the process.
Yeah. Me and you talked about how we always remember our last playground drunken experience. And that was mine.
That was it?
Yeah,
Very cool.
that was the same night.
Until next weekend, baby. Man, so, Eric, I watched SNL for the first time in a hot minute this weekend.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, it's okay. I only did it because my muse, Timothy Chalamet, was featured this week.
Was he hosting?
He was both hosting and the musical guest. A first time in
Whoa.
SNL history.
I didn't know he could slap the bass.
I mean, he can do it about as good as Mr. Bob Dylan.
Oh shit, okay.
Yeah, so he did a few Dylan tracks at the end with James Blake on piano, random
Oh,
combo.
that's so sick actually.
Yeah, it was kind of sick.
Whoa.
It was really weird because they didn't do any other intros. It was just like it's the end of the show, they cut into the musical guest. Suddenly, James Blake just comes out of nowhere, and they're like, hey, I know that guy.
That's kind of cool.
Pseudo knowledge. And then Adam Sandler popped out of nowhere too, and he's like, Timothy Chalamet, everybody. And then he just disappeared again. Just spawned and unspawned.
I love it.
Yeah, but
I think my favorite SNL moment was when I think it was who's the guy who dated J-Lo?
who dated J-Lo? Was it a Chris?
No, it was Ben Affleck.
Mr. Affleck.
Ben Affleck had to introduce Kanye, and then every time he would introduce Kanye to perform a song, he would look more and more depressed. Like, damn, he's really going through it.
Oh.
And then Kanye would just go and scream on stage.
Yeah.
It was so sick.
Is that Yeezus era?
That was Yeezus era.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That
He's
was-
like, he would be performing like New Slaves, and he's like, "Ladies and gentlemen, Kanye West."
Kanye again.
Again, yeah.
Damn.
That was
I
a good
missed
time.
that old Kanye.
I know, yeah. The one after that wasn't as good. He was just wearing the MAGA hat and yelling at people.
Yeah, it's a bit tougher.
Yeah, tougher sell.
The Timothy, I watched it because like I'm trying to make him my muse because we have a similar body type and jawline and kind of general aura. And so because of Timothy, I've been thinking all month about buying an Arc'teryx toque, and then I noticed this week you own an Arc'teryx toque. I'm like, damn.
Wait, Timothy owns one?
Yeah.
Which one?
Kind of like the one you have with the big logo,
bird?
the big bird on it. Yeah.
Damn.
I think so.
That's kind of funny. Now it's time to burn mine.
Yeah. Well, I'll take it off your hands. I'm trying to take on that vibe. But why this is important, not the Arc'teryx toque, but why this SNL episode was important to discuss with you today, Eric, is throughout the episode there were numerous skits fully dedicated to podcasting.
No.
Yeah, it kept coming up as a theme throughout the episode.
Obviously making fun of the medium.
Absolutely. Like, there was a whole bit that was all about AI generated podcasts, which was kind of fine, but the one that really caught my attention that I wanted to share with you was they suggested a new format of Men's Health Clinic where you enter and it is a podcast. There's mics, it's in a booth, it's like set up kind of like a man cave, and you talk to your physician as if you're on a podcast. And I think that's
the only
brilliant.
way to get people to talk to therapists.
Exactly. It gets them in the room and it gets them opening up and talking about like how many drinks they have a week or the color of the urine.
Yeah. Well, you know what, Ty? I'll be honest. This podcast has improved my quality of life so much, and also my mental health.
And there is something about the format that just opens you up to being willing to discuss men's health issues.
Yeah, dude. I just want to talk about erectile dysfunction over a cocktail with you on mic.
It's the first thing on my mind when I get in this booth.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a pretty good bit, and it made me think like there's definitely like a way to bring men together is through a mic. Like, you can put a mic in that subway across the street from where we're recording, leave it open, leave it on a booth. I guarantee you, two men, lonely men, lost in the ether, will find their way on other sides of that mic. And they'll talk about, I don't know, the Kansas City Chiefs or something.
Yeah. Wow, this car's real close.
Dude, you're going to get clipped by this thing. What is
No,
this?
we're good.
Buick? This is an old vehicle. Very cool looking.
Yeah. It's an interesting concept, though, Ty.
Thank you.
Do you think... well, you didn't come up with it.
Yeah, I will let the writer's room know.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think we talk about sensitive issues on this show? Do we kind of go deep? Like, are there things that you wouldn't tell Bay that you would tell me, and thousands of people?
That's a great question, Eric. Our podcast description says that we go deep. It's questionable how deep we go.
On the sandwich institutions?
Specifically the sandwich institution, we have reached rock bottom. The bottom of the bucket.
Yep.
Other topics, it's more of a light nibble.
Yeah, that's true. I don't think we need to go like another bite deeper. I think we're at the perfect spot. Lighthearted. You can listen to this on your commute. You can listen to it at the hospital waiting room. You know.
Yep. You don't want to listen to it with your family, but you can. It's cheeky me time for the boys.
That's right. That's exactly how it is. Ty, also, I want to talk to you about a movie I saw on Friday. I saw The Brutalist.
I've been curious about this film.
Yeah, it was quite a nice movie. Quite long. But, I won't bore you with the details. I think the one interesting thing I want to talk to you about was this is the first movie I've ever seen with an intermission halfway through. Yeah,
I've heard that's like the standout feature of this film. And I don't know if that's good or bad for the movie.
Well, there's a rape scene.
Oh.
I would say that's probably the standout scene. No, the intermission, it's just interesting and different because it's weird to watch it in a theater and then everyone kind of just like stands up and half the people go to the bathroom and then the other half just kind of like linger in the aisle. And it's kind of interesting because I don't know, you could just kind of look at everyone and see what their reactions are. People might be crying, people are kind of sitting there on their phone, maybe they're kind of going into their popcorn a little more.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of weird dynamic.
It's kind of like when the seatbelt light goes off on the plane. You never know what's going to happen, but you're going to get a mixed bag of reactions.
Yeah, you always want to time it where you like get up right before it comes on or comes off.
First in line for the bathroom.
Exactly. You know, yeah, you want to be like first in line for the Lily Phillips gangbang, right? You don't want to be number 500.
Exactly. So, how did you take advantage of this intermission? How did you fill the 15 minutes? Did you get
20 minutes.
Top up the popcorn, get an extra Coca-Cola.
I didn't really plan for this, Ty. I just kind of sat there. It gave me an opportunity to Google a bunch of shit that I saw in the movie, and I was like, "Is this real?"
Get informed.
Yeah. So, one of the things I Googled was, why is there an intermission? Another thing I Googled was if it was based on a true story, and it wasn't. It's a fictional story, and that kind of like ruined it for me a little bit because I just assumed it was real. It felt real. It felt like something that could happen.
Yeah.
And it was like a realistic scenario for, you know, people fleeing kind of World War II, things like that. So it's like, oh yeah, it seems real. But it turns out it was kind of loosely based on like a few kind of architects.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious that you like. The intermission gave you a window to stop suspending your disbelief. Yeah. They're like, get lost in our world, and then halfway through you're like, nah, I gotta Google this.
Yeah. Like, it was stupid because I was like, I crushed like 800 reels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of a bad move in my opinion. The director mentioned that like he personally doesn't like sitting in a theater for that long.
Fair.
But then I'm like, don't make the movie 4 hours long then.
Yeah, that's kind of on you, bro.
Yeah, that's your fault. So. You don't. It's like you're putting a Band-Aid on the cut. You know.
My brother in Christ, you made the movie.
Yeah, you can make it an hour long.
Make it a reel at this point.
Exactly. And then it got me thinking. Like the intermission just made the movie feel way longer than it really was. Mm-hmm. So it's like it had the opposite effect. I was like, halfway through the second half of the movie, I was like, are we still here? We're still in the same movie.
For sure. Yeah, the cinematic universe has not altered.
No.
And I feel the same way about the footlong, Eric, because sometimes I want to take a break after the 6-inch, but then it's just like, oh, the second 6-inch is going to be a slog if you take that break. It feels good in the moment.
Exactly.
But then it's going to feel bad later when you're biting down on the same flavors, but they're colder and mushier.
That's exactly why I brought this up, because once you take a break from eating the footlong, you can't finish it.
Yeah.
You're done.
You're tapped.
Yeah. So I want to see Subway go to a whole sandwich lifestyle. Mm-hmm. Just like, don't cut it. Let's go full sandwich mode.
Yeah, 100%. Uncut gem lettuce. That's what I want here.
Exactly.
So we can ask that. Like, I think that's a preference. Like, you don't have to circumcise the sandwich. Every person who births a sandwich gets to choose. Do you want it cut or not? Mm-hmm. And the default obviously is cut it. Mm-hmm. But like, there's a new movement happening for uncut sandwiches, and I think you and I could be on the forefront of it.
Yeah, exactly. We're progressives. I don't want it cut, and I want to spank my sandwich too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Damn, that caught me off guard.
You thought I was gonna say something normal?
Yeah. I don't know why I did.
After you made a circumcision joke, I was just gonna follow it up with,
I was dancing around circumcision joke. You went out and said it.
Yeah, I guess so. I just went out and went for the full cut.
Yeah.
Anyways, Ty, anything else you want to talk about? We have a few minutes left. You want to get everything off your chest?
Oh, dude, I have so many things to discuss, but I think we'll save them for another episode.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right, breadheads, thank you for joining us today for our 400th episode. It's been a whirlwind journey for you. I can't believe we've been recording this thing for like 5 freaking years, Eric.
Dude, yeah, 5 fucking years since 2020.
Like, we have been around as long as the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there are like COVID babies who are younger than us.
Yeah, dude, there's COVID babies in kindergarten, and we are older than them.
This show would be in grade 1.
It has about the intelligence of a first grader, I'd say.
I agree.
Social ineptness, too.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Breadheads, for following us on this journey for 400 episodes and counting. And yeah, check out our merch store. Buy a t-shirt. Support the pod.
Don't buy the tote bag. It needs a redesign.
Yeah, sure.
I'll fix that after this episode.
We'll drop the V2.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Breadheads. Ciao.